Oh, you didn't know? You better go and call somebody! It's to the K to the C with my boy M-A-T-T. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, your current streaming platform proudly brings to you the greatest tag team podcasters in the world! The Chris Farley looking Kobe fanatic Matt Mamba, the Adam Sandler looking washed up college athlete Casey Brown, the Brown Mamba Show! Welcome on in to the Brown Mamba Show. I am your host, Casey Brown, as always joined by my co-host, Matt McCormick. Matt, how you doing today, bud?
I was doing fine, but I'm currently suicidal.
I thought that was a great intro.
Yeah, if you want to lose your audience, that was A+ intro, dude.
I do appreciate that. Welcome on into episode 2 of the Brown Mamba Show. We decided to do a second one of these. Apparently, we didn't take the hint that we're bad at this.
We got greenlit, boys.
What's that? We got what?
We got greenlit.
We did get greenlit.
Yes.
But, you know, it's been a while since we recorded our last episode. One of these idiots had to get a real job and went on vacation and everything. But you know, we're back and we're ready to do this again and ready to keep on doing it. So, Matt, how you doing today? You have anything you want to rant about or anything? Any hot takes? Can I get a hot take from you?
Hot takes.
So I do have a quick hot take. I recently rewatched this movie, and after rewatching it, I kind of realized it is the most overrated movie of all time. That's not Star Wars. The Shawshank Redemption is a good movie.
No!
It's a good movie. It is not a great movie. It is not the best movie of all time, like some people try to claim it to be.
All right, it's not the best movie of all time. Oh my god!
Like, I don't even know if it makes my top 25 of movies on all time. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, but it is not a great movie.
The Shawshank Redemption is one of the greatest movies of all time.
That's false.
It's the best movie of 1994. Better than Forrest Gump. Better than Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's a hot take that I'm not going to agree with there.
You don't think Shawshank Redemption is? You just think it's a solid movie. You don't think it's a great movie.
I give it like a 8.5 out of 10. But I'm not giving it 10 out of 10s like some people.
I give it a 9.9, so you don't even know what you're freaking talking about. That's a great movie, dude.
Well, if you're giving movies like that 9.9 out of 10s, I'm really excited for this draft because I'm about to just destroy you. But
all right, man.
But before we get into that, you and me just saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last week, right?
Yeah.
Quickly, if you wanna give anything you liked about it, anything you didn't like about it, what was your view on it?
What did I like about it? Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, freaking amazing. Tarantino, freaking an amazing storyteller. The thing I love about Tarantino the most is exactly what he gave us in this movie. He gave us a great story. Nothing I would ever expect. Every Tarantino movie I watch, I don't know where the heck the story's going, but I'm freaking down with wherever it goes.
Mm-hmm.
The only real negative thing I would have to say about the movie is what they did with Margot Robbie. I mean, she's a great actor. She did fine in the movie. She didn't really have any point in the movie.
She didn't have screen time. Like she had screen time, but she didn't.
I mean, she had more screen time than what her character should have had. I mean, the only reason she had screen time was because she was Margot Robbie.
Yes and no. She had the screen time and she's a focal point of the movie, but there was no reason to make her a focal point of the movie.
Right.
You know, it's all about the Manson family and everything, and she's playing Sharon Tate, and obviously in real life, Manson family killed Sharon Tate and all four of her friends with the movie. So I don't know if Tarantino put that in the movie the entire time and just make it kind of like an unsettling thing of oh well, we all know she dies at the end.
Right.
But you know, obviously Tarantino's revisionist history on movies is one of my favorite things. Same thing with like Inglourious Bastards, like what he does at the end of that. But yeah, the like I don't know if he did it to make it unsettling, but you're right. Like she should have had more lines or something.
Something to do with. I don't like using the word plot with Tarantino, but with the main story that he's trying to tell.
Yeah.
I just feel like more to do other than just going into a movie theater.
And like
that's what she did.
And she did a great job of. I don't even know if she was like she did the great job or just like the cinematic camera, but she just did a great job of literally being like, I don't know how old she was. She was like probably like 24 when she died. Somewhere around there. But she just did a great job of 20-something-year-old actress who just moved into Hollywood, just having the time of her life.
Right,
so
yeah.
You're right. I think Margot Robbie's probably the best actress in Hollywood right now. Just overall what she brings to the table. But you're right. I wish she would have had something more in it. But I thought, and obviously it's not completely about Sharon Tate and the Manson family and everything. That's just like a subplot in the movie. But you're right. I think Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt did a phenomenal job. Those two are some of my favorite movie characters ever. Like,
just that one scene with Leonardo DiCaprio after he messed up his lines, and then he had to go back to his trailer, and he was just roasting himself.
Oh,
he starts smashing everything, and I'm like, this is amazing. I freaking love it.
He's so good, and I was never the biggest Leonardo DiCaprio guy until I saw Django Unchained. But since I saw that movie, like I'm all on board with it. So yeah, you're right. I think.
Have you ever seen The Aviator?
What's that?
Have you ever seen The Aviator?
I have not.
You watch that movie. It's on Netflix. Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Starring Leonardo DiCaprio. You will love Leonardo DiCaprio.
But yeah, Brad Pitt did also a great job. He basically played the same character as he does in the Inglourious Bastards, but he's just a.
That's what I was thinking as I was watching Inglourious. I don't like using B word, so I'm just saying Inglourious Stupids, but he plays the same character, and I love it.
Yeah, exactly. He's just, but instead he's just a stuntman who doesn't mind living a little poor and just enjoys his life. But yeah, no, I think it was great. I think Tarantino made like a lot of scenes very unsettling, and you're just like, well, here's where it goes wrong, and then it doesn't. There's so much buildup in that movie, and then it just gets completely released. So he does a great job of making a lot of things unsettling and uncomfortable. But that last 30 minutes of the movie is one of the most wild 30 minutes I've ever watched in my entire life.
One of the best Tarantino endings.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to spoil anything because the movie just came out, but holy freak. Just the ending is worth seeing the movie in theaters right now. It was amazing.
So like when I'm gonna try and like jump around it, but when the one character who wasn't really involved in it, when he finally gets involved in it and goes into his shed and then gets the one thing that they oh my god, I was crying laughing. That
whole scene, I'm like, when is this character gonna come?
Yeah.
And how is he gonna react and what is he gonna do?
Right.
I didn't expect him to do that, but thank you for having him do that. What?
Such a beautiful setup for the way that they got that character into the scene. But that entire like last 30 minutes, like I was just moving around. I was like holding my head. I was like, oh my god, what is happening right now? It was so wild. I loved every second of it.
It was so freaking amazing to watch.
But it's not my favorite Tarantino movie of all time. It felt like some dull points at some parts. And it felt.
The first half was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The middle part of the movie it was pretty slow.
Yeah.
And then the ending obviously picked way back up. But overall, I mean, it was a good movie. Just the middle was a little long.
I think it was like a 2-hour and 45-minute movie. We probably could have gotten like 2:15 out of it and got mostly the same thing. But yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was a great movie, and it's his 9th movie, so I'm a little sad that his 10th and final one's coming on the way. But we probably got a while for that to happen. So
yeah. And do you really believe that he's done after 10?
Yeah, I think so. He seems pretty strong about it.
I don't know. I could see him like 20 years after his last movie. He's like, I could come back right now, and if he has the right story to do it, he knows it's gonna make bank. the return of Tarantino, and if he's got a good story to tell, I feel like he'll tell it.
I hope so. Tarantino's my favorite director in Hollywood. I don't have a more favorite director than Tarantino, just because I just love the way all of his stories go, and they're all slightly different, but they all have like a lot of the similar concepts and everything. So, but
right. I don't know. Tommy Wiseau is probably the best director in Hollywood, just because of his workload.
Mm-hmm.
He's an actor, producer, director. Tommy Wiseau. I mean, he's 1 for 1. The Room was a smash hit, and he hasn't made a bad movie since.
Funny story, Mark. All right, so now that we've gotten into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think we are finally able to start off this Quentin Tarantino draft. We're gonna count Kill Bill as one movie. Oh wait, no.
Kill Bill 1 and 2 is one movie.
All right, you never seen Death Proof, right?
No.
All right, let's remove that one because it's his worst movie. And
Death Proof. Out of here.
So that means, there's. Hold on, let me look at all of his movies. So if all of them.
Inglourious Stupids, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill 1 and 2, Django Unchained, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs. Yes? No? Did I miss one?
Did you miss one? So what we can do is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9.
9 if you take out Death Proof.
And then if we put Kill Bill as one movie, would that be 8?
Are you counting Kill Bill 1 and 2 as two different movies there?
1, 2. I'm bad at math. Holy frick, we're good podcasters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be 8.
8 if they're one movie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Let's do that.
Counts as a movie, so.
Yep. I think we should too.
All right. Let's respect the Taran.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So how do you want to figure out who gets first pick here?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. All right. Yeah. Best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3, and we go on shoot. All right.
We go on shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, and then go. We go on shoot.
That sounds good to me. All right.
All right.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
There's a little bit of a delay there. All right.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Whatever.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right. You got one. You got one.
All right. Is this entertaining to people? I don't know, but we're gonna keep going. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
So stupid, but we were already in, so we're gonna keep doing it.
Let's go faster.
Right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Dude, this is ticking me off. All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right.
7.
We're at 1-1. We're on 1-1.
Holy frick.
All right.
17. Kobe Bryant time. Mamba mentality activated.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ah! This is not entertaining, but I don't care. All right, we're going again.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Let's go! Ah! 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 All right.
Ah!
All right, so are we doing snake draft?
Sure, we can go snake rules.
All right, so I have a proposal for you.
Oh, God.
I will trade you my first pick for your...
You telling me we did that whole rock, paper, scissors and you're willing to trade the first overall pick?
Yeah.
No freaking deal! Suck it!
All right. Then you can have the first pick and I'll have 2 and 3.
Oh. I got 2 and 3, boy.
I want 2 and 3.
Oh, wait. Does the person who wins rock, paper, scissors choose when they pick?
Sure, yeah. All right, I go second.
Fine. Ah!
All right, hold on. I can get the sound effect. One second.
This is not going to be worth it. I'm already let down, and it hasn't happened yet.
We can All right, Matt. I just played the draft sound for you. Quickly, I want you to think about how the draft music sounds and recreate it right now.
All right. Oh, you don't have the sound effect working? Is that what
I just played it, but I want to hear what you think it is. Okay, so that's closer to probably like NPC or something. It's hold on. It's dun 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 dun.
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna make my pick. How about that?
All right.
All right.
With the first pick in the 2019 Quentin Tarantino draft, Matt Mamba selects. I swear to God, if you select my 2 or 3 picks, I'm gonna fight you.
Now, this isn't my favorite Tarantino movie.
Oh no.
This is a draft, so I got to make sure
you gotta pick best on the board.
Yeah, I'm going for freaking best on the board, not what I need on my squad. All right.
I hope you don't.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, thank God. Whew.
Dang it, I messed up.
I was really thinking.
So anyways, Pulp Fiction. What does this movie bring to my franchise? You got Samuel L. Jackson. He's in every movie, but you know what? You're not getting a better Samuel L. Jackson performance than in Pulp Fiction. You got John Travolta with long hair. That's enough right freaking there. I'm not a huge fan of Bruce Willis in this movie, but you know what? He's there, and he watches someone get freaking boned in the butt. It's fine. We got Ving Rhames. He was in Mission Impossible. That's my favorite movie franchise of all time. So, he's on my team, man.
That's fair.
We got Samuel L. Jackson saying, "Say what again?" That's worth this movie alone. That's my first overall pick. That's all I gotta say.
I was really banking on you getting Pulp Fiction in with the first pick. I agree. It is probably it's probably the fan favorite best movie of his. My second pick's going to be what I think his best movie is, but I agree. Pulp Fiction.
I'm going to be so ticked if you. Oh, okay.
Pulp Fiction is a Tarantino classic. It's a Hollywood classic. It is a classic that should be a cornerstone in the film industry forever. That I agree. I agree. I could care less about the Bruce Willis and his French girlfriend or whatever she is plotline.
The whole time that was going on, I'm like, can we get back to Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson?
Exactly.
I don't know who the characters. I'm just gonna go with actor.
Could care less about it. I agree. But that, and especially with what's his name? With Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, the one guy who gets there. I can't think of what the real life actor's name is. He played in Reservoir Dogs. Can you think? Do you know who I'm talking about? The guy who drives Aston Martin and is like, "Oh, I drive fast," and
shoot, what's his name?
I'm looking at it right now. We are looking at. Nope, that's.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You don't know who I'm talking about? I think I want to say his name's Mr. Wolf, but I could be wrong. Oh, Harvey Keitel as a Winston. What's his name? Winston? Does that sound right?
I don't know. I suck with movie names. The whole time I'm like, hey, Travolta, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, Winston Wolfe. Yeah, I thought he was great. He had a little cameo there, but I thought Harvey Keitel was great in that. That whole scene.
Great too.
What's that?
Uma Thurman was great too.
Yeah, Uma Thurman was great. I think that whole scene of Jimmy and John Travolta after they shoot Marvin in the head, which spoilers for a movie that came out 25.
The only movie we're not spoiling is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All of our movies are free games, so if that bothers you, you can die.
25 years ago. I love it. I think that scene with those three after they shoot Marvin in the head and then Harvey Keitel comes in, I thought it was hilarious. I know how good my coffee is. I love that. I love that scene.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Pulp Fiction was my favorite movie before I saw these other two movies that I'm about to pick. With the second pick in the 2019 Quentin Tarantino draft, I'm going to pick what I personally believe Quentin Tarantino's best movie is, Inglourious Basterds.
All right.
Inglourious Basterds, from the start to the end, is impeccable. We start off where we see Monsieur Le Petit just working on his farm, just being a simple Frenchman, just trying to provide for his family, just a simple dairy farmer. And then we get Colonel Hans Landa, who comes in.
Christoph Waltz, you beautiful man.
Christoph Waltz is the most underrated actor in Hollywood. He is incredible. But we get Colonel Hans Landa come in, where he's like, well, let's stick to English, because I know the Jews under your floorboard don't speak a lick of English besides Shoshana, I guess, or maybe she just knew to run. I don't know if that's ever explained, but whatever. But when Christoph Waltz comes in, and he's just so personable.
He owns every scene he's in.
He's charismatic. He's personable. He's almost likable. And for a Nazi, he's almost likable. And then it's just so unsettling, what he's capable of. Incredible. Like, so I saw like one theory online that like Colonel Hans Landa, or not a theory, but like a point where it's like he doesn't even enjoy like smoking pipes or whatever, but Manazoy Lepedit, he he smokes his pipe in the house, and Colonel Hans Landa's like, all right, well, whatever, that's great. And then Colonel Hans Landa, he takes out his massive pipe to intimidate Manazoy Lepedit, and it's just like, oh, it's so perfect. Everything about him is perfect. That monologue where he's like, well, I know where a hawk would think a Jew would be, or where a hawk would think a hawk would go, but I think like a Jew. I think like a rat. And he thinks we're all. Oh my God, it's perfect. And then Brad.
That opening scene, hands down, Tarantino's best opening in any movie.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And then Brad Pitt and the Bastards are that opening scene for them, or that introduction for them. Besides like the boot camp one, the scene where they ambush the German party. Is perfect, where we get introduced to guys like Hugo Stiglitz and the Bear Jew. The Bear Jew's introduction is one of the best character introductions of all time. It's a perfect movie. I can't think of anything that wouldn't be perfect about that movie. I loved it from beginning to end, and when that final ending, where Brad Pitt's like, you know what, Yudovich, I think this might just be my masterpiece. I know that was Tarantino's way of saying this is the best movie I've ever made, and I love that movie.
So I watched this for the first time a couple days ago for this segment we were gonna do. I freaking loved it. I love the intro. I didn't know freaking Ryan from The Office was in this thing.
Yeah,
he's there.
Yeah, he's Yudovich.
Yeah, this was my first movie where I saw Christoph Waltz, and I'm like, this guy's amazing. Because I knew Christoph Waltz's name. I didn't know anything about him.
Oh, that was your first movie you've ever watched?
I looked him up, and I'm like, that's Christoph Waltz? This guy's amazing.
I didn't know that was the first movie you ever watched with Christoph Waltz. Yeah, no. He's incredible. I love him. You make that deal, Yudovich, I'll make that deal. Don't blame me. Damn fine deal. I've seen that movie probably like 6 times within the last year.
See, the thing about Tarantino also that I love, his movies are so long, but after I'm done watching his movie, I have the instant, like, I could watch that again right now, and I wouldn't even care. I mean, it was a good movie. It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but it's a really good movie.
I completely agree. It's my second favorite Tarantino movie, but I think it's his best.
Wait. Okay, all right. Wait, make your third pick already.
With the third pick...
Don't do it!
Let's see, with the first pick in the second round of the Quentin Tarantino draft, I'm going to draft my favorite Tarantino movie.
Don't do it!
Django Unchained.
You didn't do it!
Wow, really? Really?
Oh, you got a monopoly on the Christoph Waltz.
I did get a monopoly on the Christoph Waltz. That's what I was going for.
I had a feeling you were going to do that.
I was going for my 1 and 2. That's why I traded. Or picked or whatever. But
you own all the Christoph Waltz. That's just unfair, man.
But once again, Django Unchained is my favorite movie. I could watch that movie over and over again and not get sick of it. Jamie Foxx does an incredible job in this movie playing Django, and Christoph Waltz does an incredible job playing Dr. King Schultz. There we go.
I'm looking for Django.
Well, that's like another introduction of Christoph Waltz, where it's just like, we know who this guy is. Like this, you're right. This is awesome.
Again, but yeah, I still love him.
And the whole backstory of the movie of Christoph Waltz becoming a bounty hunter, but posing as a dentist, and Django looking for his wife and everything. It's why it's won original screenplay. It's such a well written movie, and
it's something that can only come from Tarantino's mind.
Yeah, you're right. And that bar scene at the beginning of the movie is my favorite scene in any movie ever.
Really?
Yeah, that scene where he's like, "Remember, get the sheriff, not the marshal," and then he shoots the sheriff dead in the streets, and then the marshal's like, "Now why don't you come out here? This is Colonel Marshall Tatum or whatever," and he's like, "Do I have your trust or whatever as a man of the law to not shoot me dead in the streets?" Like, like you did to our sheriff. Shot him down the street like a dog. He's like, that's exactly right. Do I have your permission that you will, or do I have your trust that you will not shoot me down in the street like a dog? He's like, well, as much as I want to, no one's gonna change the hurt the hangman in my city. And and then he goes into that whole thing of, oh, well, this sheriff was actually cattle rustling and everything. And he is like, well, Marshall, you owe me $200. My favorite scene in any movie ever. But
this is hands down the funniest Tarantino movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I think it is.
It's freaking hilarious.
It's so funny the entire time, and like it's violent, it's bloody, it's funny, but it's so well done. It's everything that Death Proof couldn't be. It's just so well done as a movie. And then we get to meet Monsieur Candy, who Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it's his best role he ever played.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't seen every single movie of his, obviously, but I really think this is his best role he's ever played. He's just so intimidating of a guy as Calvin Candy, but the way he plays is kind of like, oh, I think I run this, and then in reality, it's Samuel L. Jackson's character who actually runs the whole like plantation, basically. It's perfect. It's perfect, and I love that movie.
Yeah, but Leo's character, he's got like that crazy look in his eye. You don't know what he's gonna do, what boundaries he's gonna cross, and he's freaking crazy. And obviously, everyone talks about that scene where he like breaks that glass.
Breaks the glass, and that's real.
Going.
Yeah.
I immediately knew that was a scene, and I was looking at all the characters just watching him, and they were all like, "Dude, you want to call cut or something? What the heck is wrong with you?"
But yeah, like that's that blood on his hand is his real blood, and he's smearing it all over Kerry Washington's face, and that's an actual look of horror from her. Like she wasn't expecting blood to be all over her face, but the way she like sticks with it, and the way like Leonardo just doesn't blink at all is perfect. It is perfect. First movie Leonardo DiCaprio never was the top bill actor in, by the way, but
really.
Yep, he's always been the top bill actor besides that movie. But no, I like Samuel L. Jackson's character is such a great villain in that movie. And he's like, and when they almost like just snip Django's testicles, and he's just like, no, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna take you to the LaQuint Dixie plantation. We're gonna be working for the rest of your life, and it's so good. And then he tricks those Australian guys. Love that movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. I can go on for
all time. All movies, not just Tarantino.
Yep. It's my favorite movie ever.
The only major complaint I would have with it is, and I don't even think it's a complaint. I just think it was necessary for the story. But Jamie Foxx's character Django is a little dull in the beginning. But you can also say like he still doesn't know what to make of Christoph Waltz's character. He doesn't know what to make of this entire situation he's now in.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the movie, you see Django as a full fleshed out character, and he's amazing in that. So that's really the only complaint I have about Django Unchained. It's a great movie.
I agree. Yeah. All right.
But you pick my favorite Tarantino movie.
I'm curious to see what this is.
Because I picked Pulp Fiction because I thought you would take it with 2 or 3 if I didn't take it first. And I was pretty sure you weren't going to pick my favorite Tarantino movie. So with the second pick in the second round, Matt Mamba the Goat picks The Hateful Eight.
Ooh, really?
Tarantino's most underrated movie, in my opinion, and it's my favorite because
really,
that's like. And if you go on Netflix, you can see it as like the full film version, and then Tarantino also made a cut where it's like a little miniseries. It's a 4-episode miniseries. It's freaking amazing. The film version, like the theatrical version's like 2 hours 45 minutes. Maybe.
It's a long movie. It has an intermission.
And the 4-episode miniseries is like closer to 4 hours.
Oh,
but it's still amazing. The dialogue is the best dialogue. I'd say it's on par with Pulp Fiction for Tarantino's best dialogue. Samuel L. Jackson freaking crushes it in this freaking movie. His freaking dialogue about putting his big black pecker in this the old guy's son's face. Oh, it's amazing. What's the guy's name? Walton Goggins, the sheriff. He was amazing in this movie. I'd never heard of him before, but he was amazing. Who played the crazy girl?
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, yeah. She was great in this movie. But this is just such a dialogue-heavy movie where nothing's happening, and it's just Kurt Russell and Samuel L. Jackson's character talking. And I'm interested the entire time.
Yeah.
You could tell Tarantino was having a blast shooting this movie. He shot it on 70mm film to make it look like an old Western movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the best-looking movie. It's tied with another Tarantino movie that hasn't been picked yet, but I freaking love this movie. The only complaint I would have about it, he's a little liberal on using the N-word. A little uncomfortable for me, maybe not for other people, but I'm like, okay, he's saying it again. All right, but
second movie in a row.
Yeah, I'm like, Tarantino, you all right, dude?
You got something you want to like? You want to tell us? Like,
yeah, I mean, this movie's just perfect for me because I like the whole whodunit kind of thing where you don't know who to trust and who not to trust.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it's in an isolated area when they're in that cabin in the haberdashery. It's just I love this movie. I love it so much.
I will say, Tim Roth, both in Pulp Fiction and this movie, he's like a staple of Tarantino movies. If you want to like see a good one, Tim Roth does an incredible job. I love how you completely forget that Channing Tatum is there the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Like when that happened, I was like, I completely forgot about that.
He just shot his wing.
Right. I completely forgot about that the entire time. And it was such like a big star for as little screen time as he got, because of
like at the height of his popularity too.
Yeah, exactly. But it was perfect. And then like the ways like these guys like started figuring out like how to not to trust each other or like what was actually going on. Like when Samuel L. Jackson was like, she used to have a sign there that said no dogs and no Mexicans, and she had to take it down.
Trust no Mexicans.
She had to take it down because she started letting dogs in here. I was like, oh, that's I love that. I'm surprised that's your favorite movie. I'm
surprised too because I watched it for the first time and after I watched it the first time I'm like, that was pretty good, but it just stayed in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched it probably 5 or 6 times.
Really?
And I freaking love it. It's such a long movie, and the only thing that stops me from wanting to watch it is like, okay, I guess I'm killing 3 hours of this day, but I love it so much. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's one of his most underrated movies. I completely agree. It got a lot of hate. A lot of people were like, oh, I think it's too long, and I was just like, what? Every Tarantino movie is too long besides Reservoir Dogs.
Going into this thing, dude.
Right, exactly. But you're right. That dialogue the entire time had me completely captivated. You're
Kurt
completely
Russell was
right.
great too. I freaking love Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell was phenomenal as well. All right, with your next pick.
Oh yeah, it's Snake. Oh frick. I gotta go with the movie I said. Cinematography's on par with Hateful Eight. I gotta go with Kill Bill.
Oh,
it's really good. Oh, what did you think I was gonna say? All right, I'll hold it.
I'll do my next pick.
I had to make sure I had this because Uma Thurman's character, her code name is Black Mamba. How could I not take this movie? Her code name is Black Mamba. I'm wondering if that's Kobe Bryant's motivation for wanting to use that as his nickname. But I literally just watched this movie. I started last night. I finished it this morning for this, and I freaking loved it. You know what? I'm going to say it's better looking than Hateful Eight. It's freaking beautiful. The cinematography is amazing. Just the whole way this film is edited, it's almost like an old Japanese film, and it's got Tarantino's flair. Uma Thurman kills it. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like, that animated sequence, I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
I never knew I wanted Tarantino to do an animated
movie.
That
was so cool. That was so cool and so different. I loved it.
So amazing. And it's just a great way to tell backstory and keep the story going. Because that was the whole thing, and when it jumps back into like reality, it goes right back into, so all you gotta do is move your big toe, and I'm like, this movie's awesome. I freaking love it. I just saw it today, so I don't have like my collected thoughts for the other movies.
Yeah.
I just freaking love it, and I want to see it again.
Yeah, I when I got done with that movie, because I just watched it for the first time like 3 or 4 days ago. I really liked it too. I don't know if I'd say the cinematography was better than the Hateful Eight. I think they're both
I
like
think the color grading, just what they do with
yeah,
color,
they're
so much
both
better.
they're so different in cinematography that
Right.
I can't really say like one's better than the other.
Mhm.
I'd give them both 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, they're both
I
amazing.
honestly like regret not seeing Hateful Eight on like millimeter like projection when they was showing, but honestly this movie was just up there with as good as cinematography is. So and like that final or not the final fight sequence with I forget what her nickname is or
Like
whatever.
she's final boss
Yeah,
basically.
whatever final boss is, but like with all of her bodyguards, and there's like 50 of
Oh
them,
yeah.
and there's just so much blood and gore and fighting. It's like, oh, it was so good. It was so
I
good.
was watching that entire scene and my jaw was just open, and I'm
Yeah,
like, she's still going.
yeah.
Okay. Also, another thing, this freaking the music for this movie so
Mm-hmm.
influential for other movies going forward. Like, I was listening to this for the first time, and I'm like, that's where this song came from. That's how this song became popular. It's such an influential movie. The first Kill Bill came out what, like
2003.
2003,
Mm-hmm.
2003. It's freaking like it's just as relevant today. It looks better than any other movie. Like, this movie's amazing.
It legitimately does look like it could have been shot like
Mhm.
I don't know about this year or like these last couple. It definitely looks like it could have been shot in like 2016.
Mhm.
It
Like, I always thought Kill Bill was like a early '90s movie for some reason.
mm-hmm.
I don't know, probably because it starred Uma Thurman, but uh, it's it holds up so well,
Yeah.
so well.
So you did touch on one point really quickly. Every single one of Tarantino's movies has honestly some of the best like soundtrack that
Mhm.
you'll ever find in a movie. Pulp Fiction was
Yeah.
phenomenal. Uh,
Mhm.
so Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained are different in the soundtracks that they have.
Mhm.
Inglourious Bastards has a lot of instrumentals and stuff like that, but it's still
Hateful
great.
Eight's just instrumental too.
What's that?
Hateful Eight's mostly instrumental too,
Yeah,
for the most part.
yeah,
But I
exactly.
mean, it's still freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's so good, and like Django Unchained puts you like in a Western vibe, and suddenly Rick Ross is rapping, and it's just like, okay, I like this, and but
I
no,
had that same thought. I'm like, this is not what I wanted or expected, or even think goes with this. But you know what? I'm not going to deny it. It's here.
with
It's freaking here.
with the exception of my next pick, I think Pulp Fiction has probably some of the best soundtrack in a movie of all time. Just the way it flows and everything, and the way it goes with the scenes. So I thought that was great. Um, but with my next pick in the what are we at 7? Let's go with that. I don't know. I don't know how to count. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how to
think
count.
one,
Um,
two. I don't know. Just freaking go.
with my next pick, I am going to go ahead and go with the new blood in town and go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, I know we touched on it and everything. We didn't touch about how good the soundtrack was. I
Oh
think I think that soundtrack's probably Tarantino's best. Give Me a Little Lovin' is such a phenomenal song, and
yeah.
I never I believe it or not wasn't born in the 60s or 70s. Uh, never been to Los Angeles. But I honestly felt
Mm-hmm.
like I was there. Like
Right.
the soundtrack, the atmosphere of the movie, I thought the cinematography was on par with Kill Bill and Hateful Eight. I
Oh,
I
it's beautiful.
I
Yeah.
loved it. So I honestly felt like I was there. The atmosphere that Tarantino made with that movie was phenomenal, and that's why it is my next pick. And then also I get the other pick because we're doing Snake for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Is is I'm going to go with the Tarantino classic Reservoir Dogs.
I've never seen Reservoir Dogs. Just saying. You can all hate me, but I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
I watched Reservoir Dogs for the first
Mm-hmm.
time. I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't really like it. It was okay. I thought it was a fine movie, but it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I just rewatched it yesterday, and I fell in love with it. It's Tarantino's
Really?
shortest movie. I'm pretty sure. I think it's only an hour and 30 minutes,
Oh,
which
shoot.
which that's a nice quick breeze for a Tarantino flick. But so I don't want to spoil anything for you, Matt.
Okay.
But
I mean, you can talk. Oh,
yeah, I will talk about it because it's my
yeah.
pick. But
I mean, it's kind of hard not to know things about Reservoir Dogs at this point. So, like, I know a lot about it,
oh,
but
do
you can
you?
just talk about it.
Okay, yeah, but the way Reservoir Dogs works, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like we don't So it's about a bank heist, or not a bank heist, a jewelry robbery, and the heist goes wrong, obviously, and just the way that you don't know who picked what happens to who or whatever, and like the entire time they're trying to solve these pieces, and that's it. That's another movie where why can I not think of his name? Why can I not think of his name? Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel is probably the main focal point in this movie, and he does such a phenomenal job with looking after Mr. Who was it? I think it's Mr. Orange. Yeah, Mr. Orange, who's Tim Roth in this movie. The way like he looks after him after Mr. Orange gets shot, and like he's like, well, I know for sure he wasn't the one in the who like set us all up. And I know it's not Mr. Pink because he's just as scared. And I know it's not for me, so it has to be Mr. Brown or Mr. White or Mr. Blue or whatever. Or Mr. White was Kurt Russell, or Harvey Keitel, I mean. But the way that entire movie's just laid out, I honestly completely enjoyed it. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that was fine. But the way it was moved out and the way Michael Madsen. His character is creepy. His character was very unsettling, and I really liked that out of him. So it was definitely a different Tarantino movie, but with a lot of similar Tarantino movie concepts.
Was that his first movie? Like,
was it? No, I want to say Jackie Brown was his first movie.
Was it?
No, Reservoir Dogs is his first movie. Yeah, talk about a winner on the first hit.
Yeah.
No, yeah. A lot of people will say it's Tarantino's probably like second or third best movie. I don't think so. But it's definitely very good.
All right, so I get the last pick, and by default, I get Jackie Brown, which, I mean, I'm not complaining about.
Congrats.
I
don't like Jackie Brown at all.
I enjoyed it. Not very rewatchable. I'd say.
No.
When did I watch it? I probably watched it like. I think I was still in high school when I watched it, so that's probably like 5 or 6 years ago when I watched it. But
yeah,
I mean, Samuel Jackson does great. For a biopic film, it doesn't do what other biopic films do, which I can appreciate with Tarantino.
Yeah,
but it's a fine movie. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie at all. It's not a bad movie at all. It's just rewatchability is pretty big with me. Doesn't really have rewatchability, but
no, not at all.
I just remembered I was invested in the story as a dumb high schooler, so it must have hit something with me.
Yeah, and De Niro does a great job in it too. But yeah, out of all of Tarantino's movies besides Death Proof, a lot of people love Jackie Brown. I
can see why they love it.
Yeah.
It's just,
absolutely.
Really.
No, Jackie Brown's a great movie if you've never seen the rest of Tarantino's movies.
Yeah, if you're like going into it like, oh shoot, a Tarantino movie, how's he gonna? You're gonna be like.
Yeah, honestly, Jackie Brown should be like the introduction to Tarantino movies, and then you build off from there. So
yeah,
I in that way, I would say, all right, Jackie Brown does its job, but I could take it or leave it.
For the Tarantino flavor and standard, it just doesn't hold up with these other movies, I would say.
All right, so draft results: you get Pulp Fiction, you get Hateful Eight, you get Kill Bill, you get Jackie Brown, and is that it?
Yeah, that's all I got.
And then I got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I got Inglourious Bastards, I got Django Unchained, and I got Reservoir Dogs.
Not too bad.
I know, I definitely won.
The main thing I wanted going into this draft was I wanted Hateful Eight, and I was pretty sure I could get them with my second pick or something like that. I don't know we were doing Snake, but I knew I could get them later. Because not a lot of people think about Hateful Eight compared to other ones like Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Django Unchained. But I got Pulp Fiction and Hateful Eight, probably two of my favorites. Kill Bill's up there too. I would have liked one of the Christoph Waltz movies, but it's fine.
That's why I traded.
I had a feeling you were gonna do that. Right when it was Snake Draft, I'm like, oh shoot, he's gonna corner the Christoph Waltz market.
So like you said, I got my two favorite. They're my two favorite movies of all time, not just my two favorite Quentin Tarantino movies.
All time, both of them.
Yep.
Really?
They're the same movie, but one's just placed in the Western, and one's placed in.
Tarantino does enough with the characters and the story to make it look like a completely new thing.
Yeah, but they're
if
so.
If you really think about it, it's the same story. But if you're just watching it, you're like, I can't even tell anything.
Right. No, I got my 2 favorite movies of all time, let alone my 2 favorite Tarantino movies, and then I get probably 2 of his solid. Reservoir Dogs is a classic, and then I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be revered like Pulp Fiction was and Reservoir Dogs was and Kill Bill.
Maybe
but
down the road, like 20, 30 years from now,
yeah,
people
definitely.
Like, oh, why are more people talking about this one?
But people fell in love with this movie, and I was one of those people. So I definitely think I won, though. The commissioner, I want Goodell coming right by me and shaking my hand right now.
Why do you want Goodell to shake your hand?
Because Adam Silver's unavailable.
All right, so for the 4 people that are watching, comment down below who won.
Or tweet us.
At what was it?
What's
our
Hold on, let me look at our overlay because I know it has it. At Brown Mamba Show. Okay, we got that.
Promote our own stuff.
Or email us maybe at thebrownmambashow@gmail.com. I'll take your responses or your questions.
You can also fax us who you think won.
You can also call Matt. His number is 2.
Okay.
All right. So our next we're gonna go over some quick points really quickly. So from the last time we did this podcast, Michael Thomas got paid. He got, what did he get? 5 years, $96.25 million.
All time now.
Do you think he deserves it?
Just the way NFL goes, he's an elite receiver, and he just got paid recently. So yeah, he deserves it. But whatever top tier receiver whose contract is up, I don't know when. DeAndre Hopkins is up. Like he's gonna be paid more than him. It's just how the NFL goes. Like that one time when Matthew Stafford and
got $120 million.
It's like if you're a top notch talent at your position, you're probably gonna be the highest paid once your contract's up.
Which honestly you should, but like the way NFL free agency goes, it shouldn't be like contract extension wise or what all that goes. It shouldn't be okay. That guy got this, so I should get this. Matthew Stafford and Andrew Luck and Andy Dalton, all these different guys are all different types of players. Like Matthew Stafford shouldn't be getting the money that Tom Brady's making, and Andy Dalton shouldn't be making any money at all. So,
hey, he could be a backup. Don't be mean. He could be a backup.
He can be a backup.
He can be right there with Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I don't know what the Bengals are doing. They're running.
I can't believe they didn't commit to quarterback there. I understand you need to fill a need with linemen.
You're gonna lose AJ Green now. He's gone.
Good luck keeping him. You could have had Dwayne Haskins thrown to AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert with Joe Mixon in the backfield. Suddenly, that's a really good offense.
I would have even taken Drew Lock at this point just to show the
change
franchise,
it up.
Hey, we're not committed to Andy Dalton anymore. We're not banking on Andy Dalton taking us to a playoff and losing in the first game.
Yeah, changing it up and not committing to a guy who I think is worse than Jameis Winston. I don't understand it. But Bengals are going to Bengals, and I'm glad about that as a Browns fan.
I'm fine.
Yeah, that's fine with me. But quickly on the Michael Thomas thing, I think it's a perfect contract for him and the Saints. He becomes the highest paid wide receiver of all time, and they can still win right now with Drew Brees. And now Drew Brees has probably got like 2 tops 3 years left in him, I would say.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah.
Whoever he hands or passes off the torch to, who at this point looks like Teddy Bridgewater, which I like Teddy Bridgewater. I think he'll be an effective quarterback.
I haven't seen enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. We haven't seen enough. But I think that's going to be a great torch passing too. So that'll be perfect for him to suddenly get into that offense, and he's got a guy who catches 85% of the passes thrown at him. So.
Plus, you still got Alvin Kamara, who's a freaking weapon.
And Alvin Kamara and everything. But
the Saints should probably get another receiver though.
I don't know.
Do they have Ted Ginn still, or does he somewhere else?
I want to say Ted Ginn signed with somebody this offseason, but he might still be with he's still with the Saints. Okay.
Oh, is he? I mean, he's fine as a number 3 guy, maybe. But
yeah, but he's not your number 2. They should honestly try and trade for a guy like Tyler Boyd.
That wouldn't be bad. Tyler Boyd's solid.
Yeah, he costs a decent amount. But the Bengals should definitely look into rebuilding right now, and Tyler Boyd is a really good piece to trade off to because I think he's still under control for a little bit, and he's young and he's really talented, and he's
still in the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
They've had so many good, like, solid receivers to pair with AJ Green. Like, you had Mohamed Sanu, Marvin Jones, Tyler Boyd.
TJ Houshmandzadeh?
Wait, what?
TJ Houshmandzadeh, was he still there when AJ Green came there? But
I don't think so.
Okay.
But there were so many good receivers to pair AJ Green with.
And you wasted on...
You haven't done anything with it because you've had Andy Dalton this whole time.
And, like, it wasn't because, like, their, like, running game was bad or anything. Like, it wasn't the best, but, like, Giovanni Bernard and I forget who the other guy was who flipped over everybody in the end zone. Jeremy Hill. Yeah. And, like, those guys definitely did their job when they were with the Bengals. So
now you have Joe Mixon.
Yeah, and now you have Joe Mixon, who's honestly, like, the way he looks, he's going to be one of the best running backs in the league in his prime.
I mean, he's an every down back. I mean, I'd probably put him in my top 10 running backs now.
Yeah, I agree. He has the ceiling of being what Adrian Peterson was in his prime. Like, but I don't think he's going to make it there, but he definitely has the body for it. He has all the tools for it. I really like Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I think he's good. I mean, the false rape allegations and all, you know?
Nope, that was not him.
That wasn't Joe Mixon?
No, Joe Mixon clocked that girl.
It was that. It was the assault.
Yeah, which, looking at the video, she hit first. This is a topic we can hit on at a different time, but he wound up and hit her with the hardest right cross I've ever seen in my entire life on somebody. She went like, if she didn't do a flip in the air, she was pretty close to it. But yeah, so that's why Joe Mixon dropped a little bit, but I think he still got picked in the second. So,
second or third, which is a steal for the Bengals.
Yeah. Speaking about running backs who have gotten suspended and in trouble before, both Zeke and Dak want money. What's your opinion on this whole Zeke and Dak situation?
Dak should not get paid anything. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan.
No.
I think Ezekiel Elliott is talent-wise the best running back in the league.
Mm-hmm.
His off-field issues are obviously concerning.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge Zeke fan when he was
Ohio State. Yeah.
Ohio State.
Me too.
I mean, he's shown that he's a really good, consistent running back. He's got a great offensive line. I think you need to pay Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott, he just can't. He can't take control of his own offense.
Anything.
I really don't think so. I mean, he's got Amari Cooper now, which is good, but he needs Ezekiel Elliott along with targets to throw to.
What else is there in the receiving core? Like, they got Beasley, right? And
they got rid of Beasley.
Oh, they did?
He's with the Bills now.
Oh.
I think.
Who do they have?
They got Jason Witten back.
Yay.
Who's that other? Didn't they have another tight end?
I don't know.
I don't. Who do the Cowboys have?
Apparently nobody.
They don't have Dez. Where the heck is Dez Bryant?
They have Martellus Bennett. Is that who you're thinking of?
Did they sign Martellus Bennett?
I guess so. The other guys they have is Gavin Ear, James Hanna, Anthony Fasano, Jay Novak. Stop me if you've heard any of these names before.
Do they have Terrence Williams still?
I don't think so.
I gotta look. What?
The Cowboys are in a really bad situation. Nope, he's a free agent.
I mean, there's the defense is solid.
Yeah.
Offensive line is great.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay Zeke, you got a great running game. I mean, they're still probably a borderline playoff team. I wouldn't be surprised if they made the playoffs next year. But just because of their division is so bad, you got Dwayne Haskins, a rookie quarterback. You don't know how he's going to play. You got the Giants. They don't know what they're doing. The Eagles look good. They're basically just got to compete with the Eagles this year.
It all depends on how well Carson Wentz plays. Because if he plays anything like he played last year, the Eagles are
a scary team if Carson Wentz comes back strong.
Yeah, like if he plays like he played last year, the Eagles are like a 6-10 to like 9-7 team. Like Wentz played bad last year, but if Wentz comes back like he was 2 years ago, sorry about that. If he comes back 2 years ago, Eagles are a Super Bowl contender. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They got Randall Cobb.
Oh yeah, they signed Randall Cobb.
Oh, Michael Gallup. They do have Michael. I like Michael Gallup. I think
Cowboys fans were like about to kill us for getting these people. But yeah, they signed Randall Cobb. I was fine with Randall Cobb not coming back to my Packers, but I was like, oh, you just had to go to the Cowboys, dude. That's fine.
But no, they do have Michael Gallup. I really like Michael Gallup. He's a young, solid receiver out of Colorado State, I think.
Something. It's actually a solid receiving core now that I think about it.
Yeah, yeah. And Dak Prescott can't do anything about it, but he wants $30 million a year.
No.
I
mean, I think this year is important for Dak Prescott. Because especially if Zeke holds out and doesn't play for a few weeks or possibly the whole season like Le'Veon Bell. Like, if Dak Prescott can produce without Zeke, that's going to be huge.
There's no way he does. There's no way he does.
I don't see it.
He's going to have Mike Weber in the backfield from Ohio State. Mike Weber's a solid running back. I don't know how he'll translate into the pros.
Probably sign someone else. Do they have anyone else at running back, or are they just going to...
I just closed the Cowboys depth chart because it was disgusting. But they have a guy named Tony Pollard.
Who?
He was their 4th round pick. They drafted 2 running backs in the 4th and 5th. What are you doing, Cowboys?
Clearly, you didn't want to pay Zeke.
Holy cow!
Weber in the 5th?
Yeah, they took Weber in the 5th.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a solid get, but we'll obviously see how that translates.
It's no Zeke. I'd rather have Zeke. Just freaking pay. And then Jerry Jones is like, you don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
You don't need a running back.
Winning team with Emmitt Smith? Carrying Troy Aikman to a Hall of Fame career? I'm sorry.
You don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl, but you need somebody who's not Dak Prescott to literally get you a win. So, I don't understand the love for Dak Prescott from Cowboys fans because it's a cult there. They all love Dak Prescott, and literally nobody outside of Cowboys fans likes Dak Prescott.
Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But that's not really saying much.
Yeah, exactly. I think you got a video or two explaining that.
Oh yeah, just a couple.
You want to plug your YouTube there?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Let's hit preseason week 1. I don't know if you saw anything that you really liked out of any of the teams or anything.
I watched a little bit of the Browns.
Okay.
And I watched highlights of the Packers. That's all I watched. And I saw Paxton Lynch score a rushing touchdown against his old team. That's all I saw.
Ooh. What team does Paxton Lynch play for now?
He plays for the Seahawks now.
Oh, that's right.
He's not going to get any playing time. He's not going to get any playing time, but good for you for scoring on the Broncos.
Right, exactly. So I will quickly talk about the only ones I really watched was the Browns and the Redskins. I saw like highlights from the other ones. But so Browns offense looks scary without Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. It's kind of ridiculous. I will say
Hollywood Higgins, dude.
He's gonna have a big year, dude. Him and Nick Chubb are gonna just get so many targets, and David Njoku from having to guard Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. and Kareem Hunt, who I keep forgetting that the Browns just have randomly on their roster. Like, oh yeah, we got Kareem Hunt. Oh, it's like,
the guy that was amazing and unstoppable.
I think was he rookie of the year? His year? Does that sound right?
He should have been
offensive rookie of the year. He was something because he was really good, and he's still really good. So I keep forgetting about that, and it's incredibly scary. And then the Browns defense secondary didn't look too hot, but I think that's just kind of guys like still testing out each other, getting that chemistry down. The linebacking core and the front seven in general for the Browns is looking ridiculous. Joe Schobert and Christian Kirksey are on contract years, and they might get cut or traded by week 1 if Mac Wilson and Sione Takitaki play.
Mac Wilson had that pick 6, didn't he?
Mac Wilson had 2 interceptions.
Oh shoot! Heck yeah, get that roster spot, dude.
Including practices within the last 5 days, he's had 6 interceptions.
Mad lad.
Mac Wilson's impressing a lot of people, and so is Sione Takitaki. Sione Takitaki looks like a crazy person when he plays, but the Browns coaches are loving it. I'm loving it, and it's going to suck seeing like Kirksey and Schobert go, but the young core that they have with those two, And they still got Myles Garrett, Olivia Vernon, Larry Ogunjobi, who might be the most underrated D tackle in the league, and Sheldon Richardson is incredibly scary. And you also have Jannard Avery, who is also a very underrated linebacker coming off the edge. He's a huge pass rush guy, and I think he got like 5 sacks last year with barely any playing time. And then their secondary, Demarius Randall's still there looking for a contract, which I don't know if he's going to get or not. But he played great last year, going back to that safety position. And then their cornerbacks, Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, and Terrence Mitchell all look ready to go.
Greedy looked really good.
Yeah, he had that one mix-up with him and Cedric Redwine, trying to figure out who the coverage was, and they gave up that open pass touchdown. But Greedy looked really good. But yeah, I'm so excited for the Browns this year. On the other side of the ball, Case Keenum looked exactly like Case Keenum is, a better Dak Prescott. And
that's complimenting him.
That is complimenting him. And but besides that, we got to see Dwayne Haskins, and Dwayne Haskins made some rookie mistakes. That's going to happen.
He had some solid throws. I only watched him for a little bit, but he made some pretty good throws.
He's going to be a stud. Like, as long as he can learn, and I don't know what the Redskins coaching situation is. I don't know how good or bad they are, but if he can just learn and not get frustrated, he's going to be a stud. The way he throws the ball so hard with just a flick of the wrist is impeccable, and his throws on the run are great. Oh, excuse me. You just got to worry about
It was like his first completion. You saw him in a play action, and he freaking
play action in his own end zone, and he throws it for like 20 yards. That's exactly what you want from your rookie. So any Redskins fans watching, I don't think you exist, but but I would not be worried about Dwayne Haskins at all. I really like what he's doing. And then I'm not going to
first week, and then he gets benched.
Yeah.
Even to week 1.
I'm not going to overreact or anything, but the punt returner we had last night, that Damon Giepsy or something like that.
Yeah, is that the guy that
he
slept?
He lied his way onto like a practice, like an open practice with Alonzo Highsmith. I'm not going to overreact or anything, but the way he took that punt back, he looked exactly like Devin Hester. So I'm not going to overreact or anything. But the Browns have the next coming of Devin Hester on their team. So I'm not going to.
Okay, I guess that's a thing.
But yeah, that's my takeaways. Daniel Jones looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback, which we all predicted. And
Eli Manning is now the most unhappy person in America.
Which, I mean, he's going to get paid a few million, or like $10 million, $20 million for the next few years to be a backup.
Dude, just retire. You beat Tom Brady twice. Just retire, dude.
Not if he's making $10 or $20 million a year.
All right, fine, dude.
Just be Daniel Jones' backup, not do anything until he gets hurt because the Giants still suck. And
it's not that Daniel Jones is going to do anything because they still have no one other than Saquon.
Sterling Shepard, and they have Evan Ingram.
He's not a number 1 receiver.
No, he's not. But they have Evan Ingram.
Guy getting your number 1 corner. He's not going to do much this year.
You're right. I agree. But
maybe 800 yards.
Evan Ingram's solid too. But besides that, they are.
He gets injured a lot though.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I had him on my fantasy team.
They are going to be horrible this year.
The only thing I can say about the Packers, what I saw from them is. We're putting a lot of faith in this young receiving squad other than Devontae Adams, which is really scary.
Who are the Packers receivers?
Other than Devontae Adams, you have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who looks solid his rookie year. You have Geronimo Allison coming back, who is one of Rodgers' favorite targets. You got this guy named Jake Kumaro, who looks solid. He had a little bit of playing time last year. We're not too sure if he's even going to make the squad. Who else do they have? I think they have Jamon Moore still from last year. They didn't draft.
So it seems like you have like a lot of raw potential guys who.
I mean, I trust Rodgers to work with them.
Yeah.
We still have some really good tight ends. Jimmy Graham, hopefully he can come back and stay healthy. I think he could have a really good year. Mercedes Lewis is a really good blocking tight end, good red zone threat because of how tall he is. But the Packers, I want to be optimistic because they made some good moves on the defensive side of the ball during the offseason, but.
Packers drafted really well.
Oh, yeah. They usually draft really well because they never make moves in the offseason.
Right.
But, I mean, I think the Packers will go 10-6 this year. But they got a really tough schedule.
Does 10-6 put them in the playoffs, you think?
I think. I don't know how the
Dude,
Bears are going to do. I don't
it
know
all
how.
depends on how well Mitch plays.
Yeah,
Because
it really does. I don't.
everybody in Chicago thinks Mitch is gonna play an MVP level season this year, and
Everyone
like,
keeps comparing him to Rodgers, which annoys me.
ooh, that's a little. I don't know about that
I
one.
see the Vikings going like 7-9, like staying
Yeah,
competitive for most of the year, but then falling off near the end because Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. I see that. I mean,
you
the
like
Bears
that?
defense is so good. Tariq Cohen, I think is a really good weapon. I think the Bears and Packers will probably have the same record. One of them's gonna win the division. One of them's gonna go to the wild card.
Bears receiving
That
core is weird. That's the big thing is
they have Allen Robinson if he can stay healthy. Like he's healthy last year.
the thing is like they have a lot of twos like
Yeah,
on their they don't have a true number one. They have like a lot of twos, which is really effective sometimes, but sometimes you need that like, go-to guy. So
they got rid of Jordan Howard, which I think was dumb. I think he's still a
he
really
didn't
good
do
running
much
back.
last year.
Well,
Um,
because they wanted to see what Tariq Cohen was about, and that
mhm,
guy's like he can do anything.
mhm.
But now Jordan Howard's on the Eagles, and that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, I forgot he went to that's a good team.
Yeah.
Um all right, so something else that happened. Trevor Bauer got traded from the Indians to the Cincinnati Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Reds are 6 or 7 games back now from the postseason. So good job, Reds.
They're not gonna make it.
Good job, Reds. But so yeah, the Indians traded Trevor Bauer. They got back Franmil Reyes, Yasiel Puig, Logan Allen, as well as Victor Nova and Scott Moss. Reds traded Taylor Tranmere to the
Really
Padres. Yeah. So on that, so the Indians got the best haul out of all of them. It's not even close. Franmil Reyes is slumping right now,
but
but
he'll pick it up.
yeah, he'll pick it up. I'm not worried. He's 23 years
Puig's
old.
doing well.
He's 20. Yeah, Puig's doing incredible, but Franmil's 23 years old and is like 6'9" and 300 pounds of pure muscle. That man's a behemoth.
Yeah.
But and then they also got Logan Allen, who in a stacked Padres farm system was their number 7 prospect, which
I'm not
is
really sold on him.
you're not sold.
Mm.
I I I don't know. So it'll definitely take a lot of developing.
Mhm.
But I'm hopeful he could be like a 4 to 5 man guy in your rotation, if not a solid bullpen piece.
Mhm.
So I'm hopeful in that aspect. But I'm not holding my breath or anything.
Yeah.
Besides that, Victor Nova is like a utility guy, I think, from San Diego. So he's fine. I don't know if he'll ever see the majors or not. And then Scott Moss, who I think is still a fake player, is apparently the Reds' 11th. Was the Reds' 11th ranked prospect. And I'm pretty sure he was a throw-in because Yasiel Puig was fighting by the time he was traded. So,
But the Trevor Bauer trade, like going into the trade deadline, I didn't want the Indians to trade Trevor Bauer.
yeah, me neither.
And I always said, if we're going to trade Trevor Bauer, we need some bats. And we got not, I would have been like satisfied with just Puig, but we also got Franmil Reyes. And I'm like, I was perfectly fine with letting Bauer go at that point because we got 2 really good bats. And it got Jake Bauers out of our freaking lineup.
If they would have just gotten Puig, I would have been really ticked. I would have needed
You also get all the other like prospects.
yeah, I would have needed like Puig and like some really good prospects.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like I completely agree. I was on the same boat of listen, if you want to win, you never trade starting pitching. That is the one thing you never trade.
Especially when Kluber's still hurt.
Kluber's still hurt.
Carrasco's going through what he's going through.
And Bieber is legitimately a Cy Young.
Clevenger just came back from an injury too.
Right, exactly. Like Bieber's a legitimate Cy Young candidate, and they have like a lot of young guys who are still like they're not question marks, but you still don't know exactly what you're going to expect out of them. Zach Plesac
been playing solid, but
yeah, it's like Zach Plesac's played great when he's been up here. He's got hit around a few times, but that's going to happen to a rookie. Aaron Savall, same thing. Or no, Aaron Savall has pitched really well in his like 2 or 3 games he's been up here. Jeffrey Rodriguez is on the DL, but he was pretty solid when he was up here. Adam Plutko is
I don't know.
he is what he is. He's going to be your quadruple A guy who's always going in between teams, but he's never going to be good enough.
Greg Allen for pitching.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the Reds got Trevor Bauer for a year and a half, and I don't understand that. I feel so sorry for Reds fans because their front office seems
They're
incompetent.
awful. You wasted Joey Votto's entire career.
Yeah, you trade your number one prospect, which I personally don't believe Taylor Trammell will be as good as what everybody thinks he is. I think he'll still be a solid player.
Another guy that they just called up, Nick Senzel. He's gonna be solid.
Senzel's going to be solid. They just called up a replacement bat for Puig. I can't think of his name, but he is also a behemoth of a person who hits the ball really far. So they got some young pieces, but they're not contenders. And they coming into this year, they had like probably 2 more years before they should have been contenders. Maybe a year and a half, see how they are trade deadline. They should have not traded for Bauer, and they traded a big prospect because of it.
Yeah, like I didn't think the Reds were a destination spot for Bauer. I didn't really think he was gonna go there.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like when we talked last time, the Reds were like 6 games out of their division, or like five or 6, and it honestly looked like that entire like division might have been buying instead of the selling. Now the Pirates fell off, and the Reds also fell off, but they still bought Bauer, and I don't understand it because they're not going to be contenders again next year. They're going to be like an 85 and I can't do math, but 80.
85 is generous too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Their ceiling is 85, and that doesn't win you the wild card. It might win you the wild card in the National League. National League's not doing too hot this year, but I don't understand it. I don't know what they're doing, but you know what?
The Reds don't either.
More power to them. More power to them.
More power to us, frig.
You're right. More power to the Indians. Except they traded Bauer to the Reds, which I don't think they value the Ohio Cup enough. But you know what? It's fine.
It's fine. We'll probably still win it. Bauer only played 1 game.
Quickly, before we get into one of these segments, I do want to talk about, because I don't know when the next time we're going to record is, I do want to talk about UFC 241 really quickly. I don't know how much you're into UFC or anything.
I hate UFC.
We get Stipe versus DC, the rematch. Stipe is my boy.
Stipe? I thought it was Stipe.
Stipe Miocic.
I thought it was Stipe.
Jesus Christ, Matt.
All right, you can go. Just talk about your UFC stupid.
I'm kind of thrown off by that, not gonna lie. Hey, here's my buddy Stipe.
That's Stipe!
God.
Talk about your UFC, dude.
Yeah, no, Stipe is gonna knock him out in the 2nd round. DC is gonna try and wrestle with him. DC is a Olympic level wrestler. Stipe Miocic is a Division I collegiate wrestler from the Cleveland State University.
Hey! That's where I go.
But that's where I went. But no, Stipe's going to knock him out in the 2nd round. DC's going to try and get too cute. He's too old. He's not going to move around as fast. Stipe realizes what he did wrong last fight for them. He wasn't moving his head as much. There wasn't a lot of body movement, and he was just trying to go for the big old knockout punch and not worry about DC, who's still a very comparable fighter, one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. But he's going to be too old. Stipe's too good. Stipe is the best heavyweight of all time for the UFC, and so that'll be a great fight. Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz. It'll be Nate Diaz's return from when he lost to McGregor, which was like 3 years ago now or something like that. Anthony Pettis is on a roll now. Anthony Pettis is making a comeback that nobody expected from him. He's really rounded his game really well, and these two have a rivalry. These two do not like each other at all. I think Pettis is going to knock him out. Let's go. Yeah, Pettis is going to knock him out in the 2nd round. Problem with Nate Diaz, he has way too much scar tissue on his forehead. So the second you punch his forehead, blood's just going to be gushing out, and that's going to be affecting him the entire time. That's the one problem with the Diaz brothers, is they have way too much scar tissue in this area, so blood affects them. And then you also have Yoel Romero and Paulo Costa. It's Yoel's big return to the ring. Yoel Romero, the soldier.
I don't know what he's talking.
Yoel Romero, the soldier of God, who is honestly one of the just most intimidating people you could ever look at. He's number 3 in the. He's the number 2 contender in the middleweight division, behind Whitaker and Israel Asande. And I think he is going to destroy Paulo Costa and just wrestle him into the ground, and just pound his face into the mat until he's a part of the mat. So
My
that
name's Matt, so I know.
what's
what you're
that?
talking about. My name is Matt as well.
That is Matt.
That's what I have.
So besides that really threw
But I
me
have
off.
one thing to add.
What's that?
Could he beat whoever you're talking about? Could he take on SpongeBob or Patrick in that episode during the Fry Cook games when they became wrestlers and SpongeBob erased Patrick's name tag to where he was Rick? Could he handle Patrick's rage as a wrestler when his name got turned into Rick?
So you know how like those.
I don't think so.
So you know how like when he was doing that, like he, or like when they were doing that, like their bodies were like all ripped and everything.
Right.
He is the real life version of what those guys look like.
Yeah, but he didn't just get his name turned into Rick. So Patrick's gonna be a lot more angry.
What are you gonna turn Yoel Romero into? He is the soldier of God. That is his nickname.
But his name is not Rick. You're not understanding.
You're right. I'm sorry.
His name is not Rick, so you cannot stop him.
I'm sorry.
That's what I have to add.
All right. So, with our next segment, this is going to be my new favorite segment. Ooh. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure we're still recording. Okay. Thank God.
It would be so awful if we did all of that and didn't record.
Oh, I would be so mad. All right. So our next topic is going to be Tinder for convicts, Matt. Tinder for convicts. And
when this guy pitched this to me, he was like hyping it up, and I'm like, this is not going to live up to the hype. He's like, it's going to come out of left field, but let me know what you think. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be so stupid, and I'm going to hate it. And he's like, Tinder for convicts. And I'm like, I'm listening.
Now, these are currently incarcerated people who have broken the law, but they can have pen pals, and a lot of them are looking for romantic relationships over the internet. So, let me see if I can't switch screens here, and we'll get to this first. How does that look like on OBS? Hold on, I gotta drag OBS.
Can't see a thing, so I am just assuming he's messing this up.
Let me drag OBS to. Okay, perfect. All right, perfect.
Yeah, I did all that. That was me.
Perfect. All right, so shut up. All right, so I am going to send Matt pictures of the.
Dude.
What's that?
Wrong segment. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to send Matt pictures of these people, and I will give him the person's name, and the I'm moving some stuff around, so sorry everybody. I'm going to give them the person's name and how long they're in prison for, and Matt has to guess what the person did. So, I just sent you a lovely picture of our friend Wendy, I think her name is.
Oh, the second picture you sent me, not the one earlier.
Right, the second picture. We'll get to. I think that guy's name is Tyrone. We'll get to him.
That's fitting and stereotypical, but all right.
What's that, Matt? Matt, what's that?
What? I don't understand what we're doing. Okay, so I'm looking at what's her name?
Wendy.
I'm not trying to assume genders. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep us in good faith with media.
I'll do that next. Okay. Yeah. So I sent it to you. So we're going to be. Let me get her back on screen here. We're looking at Wendy's picture here. Now, I'm going to read her bio to you as well. So, Wendy, hello, friends. Well, I'm Wendy. Did you notice it's not Wendy? LOL. Well, I'm very excited to be able to communicate with someone other than my bunkies. My hobbies are pretty simple, mostly include reading or when I have time and energy, exercising. I also like to watch TV shows, movies, and I'm starting to watch more and more historical documentaries these days as well. My favorite books are the Harry Potter series, which is always going to be one of the best reading experiences of my life, and The Martian by Andy Weir. What I am looking for in a pen pal, basically people to gush over about books or TV shows or annoying people in our lives, or anything that we share in common love for. I'm down for any type of communication, really. So if you want to talk, just hit me up or something. I don't know how this works or how I should end this post. Now, Wendy is she was
Is it
born
Windy?
Windy.
Windy like the wind?
Like the wind with a Y at the
Like-
end. Yeah. Windy
Okay.
is
I thought it was Windy this whole time.
Windy was born in 1968.
Nice.
And her release date is 2037.
Oh, so frick. This ain't no jaywalking.
No, this is no jaywalking.
You're like, dang, it was jaywalking. All right, so from this picture, it looks like the cover of a Taylor Swift album.
Mm-hmm.
If she was like a punk rocker, really.
Okay.
And then like right at the bottom of the picture, it would say like one word that's really deep, but it's not really deep, so it would say like Faith, and that would be the album. That's what I see just from the
Serenity.
picture. Yes, that's better. Yes, I like that. And so that's just what I'm getting for the picture. I'm not getting any crimes, but when I was hearing that bio, it's a little too normal. Mm-hmm. So, and you said 2037 is the release date, right?
Yes, sir.
That's when that album's dropping too. I'm gonna have to go with. You know what? Oh, I know it.
Let's hear it.
There has been a murder.
There's been a murder?
In Savannah.
In Savannah.
And it's Windy. She murdered her husband because he did not enjoy Harry Potter or do any of the things she wanted to do, and she freaking murdered him. That's why she's in jail. 2037, Serenity, the album coming out soon. Tell me I'm right.
So, she was incarcerated for delivery and possession of illegal controlled substances. So, the good thing about all of these people is that it's public knowledge because they were arrested. So, let me read you a little bit about Windy.
Windy!
On October 21st, 2015, while conducting surveillance on an area reported to law enforcement as being an area where drug activity was occurring, a traffic stop was made, and Pisano was again identified as the driver of the vehicle. She was stopped before this, had drugs in her car, and some drug paraphernalia. I don't think anything ever came of it. They might have, but okay. So
it's just Windy's normal day.
During a search of the vehicle, a loaded 9mm pistol and multiple drug paraphernalia were found. Panzo was prohibited from a possession of a firearm or ammunition due to her previous felony convictions. Panzo subsequently admitted to distributing more than 50 pounds of methamphetamine.
Heck yeah! You go, Windy.
She is how old? 49, and she's slinging 50 pounds of meth.
Which is kind of ironic because I thought her name was Wendy at first, and that made me think of Breaking Bad when Hank saw that.
Can I get your Windy?
That's what I thought. So I'm like, all right, so she deals meth. All right, I'm down.
Okay, so our next one I've already sent to you, but I'd like you to talk about it.
Tyrone!
His name is Tyrone. Let me step away really quickly while you talk about Tyrone, what you think about him, and what your first impressions are.
Heck yeah, this is the Mamba show now. We drop in the Brown. And it's named Brown Mamba show because his last name is Brown, not because it's not a race thing, if that's what you're thinking. So my man Tyrone, he is also brown. That has nothing to do with anything. Brown people can be great citizens along with convicts. Race has nothing to do with that. I am digging my own hole as I explain this. But my man Tyrone, this clearly looks like an 8th grade yearbook picture from the background. It looks like the person taking the picture was like, all right, Tyrone, get your chin up a little. You know how they do that? Do they do that for anyone else? Okay. Tyrone, he's
okay, let me save everybody from this.
Were you hearing that whole time I was talking?
Yes,
I
was.
I'm so sorry. I think our show's getting canceled after this episode.
It's
all right.
Horrible,
my man Tyrone, he's
all right.
He looks like he could average at least 16 points in a WNBA game.
All right, so Tyrone.
He doesn't look like a murderer though, so I don't want to say murder, and I don't want to believe my man Tyrone is a rapist. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, you know what? I like Tyrone. Here's the tee.
Tyrone Smoochie Wallace.
I've been holding this golf tee for the entire episode for me to have a chance to say, here's
Jesus Christ.
Boom. Good bit. Anyways, my man Tyrone's a good guy. He didn't do anything wrong. He just had a gun in his vehicle without registration. That's what Tyrone did.
All right. So Tyrone is. You didn't even hear like his bio or anything. You just made assumptions.
No, but I already know. know.
Tyrone is 33 years old.
I already knew that. I already knew he was 33.
His release date is 2023, so 4 years. That's not too bad.
Just a gun that wasn't registered in his car, dude. I already know.
Hey, ladies. My name is Tyrone. I am a cool, laid-back, get-money type of guy with a swag that everybody loves. But all above, I am an extraordinary gentleman in a league of my own. I am simply looking for a good woman with a good heart and a beautiful mind to correspond with on a friendship level, with the intentions of indulging into a journey of endless possibilities. My dude is out here just writing fan fiction. A woman who is consistent, down to earth, and doesn't mind taking the time to get to know someone. So if you're seeking a great conversation, good vibes to be uplifted in your life, then don't hesitate to come see what I'm about. This is a no judgment zone over here, baby, because when you deal with one who is real, we don't judge. They say conversation rules the nation, so I hope that you keep an open mind and give me a chance to shine like an all-star do. You can test me a message by downloading the connectapp.com app. Holy cow. To your phone and set up an account or write me. Tyrone Hall. Now, Matt.
Not a single word in that bio surprised me. That's just the kind of fella my man Tyrone is. I have half a mind to write it myself. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Now tell me that he only had a gun that was unregistered in his car, please.
I can't say I can because Tyrone was incarcerated for murder. I couldn't find. I don't think I could find any.
Tyrone, he didn't do it. He was framed.
I don't think I could.
Has failed us again.
I don't think I could find any information on Tyrone. Could I? No, I could not. So, but yes, Tyrone.
Tyrone is innocent.
He was.
Hashtag free Tyrone.
He murdered somebody, Matt.
No, he didn't. Where's your proof? If there was a glove, it would not fit, and yet they still acquitted.
Well, you won me over, at least. So
Tyrone's innocent, dude, and Tyrone is possibly my soulmate. Tyrone, if you ever get out of jail and you just want to have a good time, at Mamba24, hit up my Twitter, DM me. My DMs are open, and I'm freaking down to do whatever, Tyrone, because I know you're not going to murder me, because you're a nice fella.
Okay, all right. So this
You wanted me to be.
this
All right, moving on.
This next person, we're gonna get to know a little bit about Miguel.
Does he look anything like Tyrone? Dude, what is with these pictures? This looks like a senior picture in high school.
So
mine's in black and white. He's trying to act like all freaking like, oh shoot, I'm
Miguel.
Brick, because it's black
Miguel,
and white.
Born in 1978. Release date 2037. This is about this little bit about Miguel. I am looking to correspond with not just beautiful, an angel who is gorgeous, smart, great personality with hair hung just above her shoulders, long in a way that is classic, and a sexy body full of potential curves like a country back road. Someone can hold me down, a fighter, a companion, good cook, and most important, race does not exist in my eyes. See, he is an open-minded gentleman.
Oh my God.
With all due respect, let me start by extending my hand to introduce myself. I am taking a hold of your soft hand as a gentleman. I give it a little peck. It is very nice to meet you. I am currently, so I won't say because he said he's incarcerated for, so I won't say that. I am from Dallas, Texas. My zodiac sign is Leo. Growl. LOL. Haha. I don't bite unless you want me to. I'm a Mexican Native American with tattoos all over my body and have long hair. My height is 5'11" and I weigh 210 pounds. My personality is a little quiet whenever I meet new people. I'm a bit reserved, but once I feel you out, I'm a great time. I like laughing and making people laugh. I give amazing and honest advice. I'm very black and white, as we can tell by his picture. Yep, there we go. And yes! Either I associate with you or I don't. That's that. I am loyal, dedicated, humble, with a sprinkle of crazy. Really. Joyful, spontaneous, confident, serious when it's about business and my kids. Hopefully by the time you finish reading this introduction, you'll find an interest, and you and I can engage into a beautiful friendship or more.
What the heck?
Take things as they come and see where it goes. Now, so we got that. Incarcerated until 2037, Matt.
let me just say,
Mm-hmm.
that entire bio, that could be a country song.
That's what you want in a guy.
That really is. What was that line in the beginning? Curves like a country back road. Holy frick, that spoke to me. The second you said that,
Not just
my
beautiful.
wiener stood up.
Not just beautiful, an angel who's gorgeous, smart, great personality with hair hung just above her shoulders. Lawn in a way that is classic and a sexy body full of potential curves like a country back road.
The second you said those words, this was my wiener. Bang! It went straight up. Holy frick, that was hot.
Okay.
This guy, that whole bio, it screams, hello. What's his name?
Miguel.
Miguel. Hi, my name's Miguel, and I'm a grade A rapist. He's a rapist. Give me my money now. Is there a cash prize of this if I get it right?
So Miguel is incarcerated for racketeering, conspiracy.
What the heck is that? I don't know what that is.
Conspiracy of making racketeering and conspiracy of cocaine and marijuana. Racketeering is when you get a hold of somebody and threaten them until they do what you they do what you tell them to. Mostly by physical abuse. And he did this against another gang. So Miguel is in a competing gang with somebody. But all he wants is just a woman with hair just above her shoulders, you know?
And he deserves it.
And he deserves it. I think so too. All right, I'm gonna send you this
2037, is that when he's coming out?
Yep.
Girls, hit him up.
Hit him up. That's right. All right. Let me do it this way because I'm really unorganized and I should have thought about this before I did it. But I'll read you a little bit about Michael while I send you his information here.
Okay,
so Michael, hi. I am a Canadian-born dual citizen who happens to be trapped in Idaho. Dang. I was born and raised in Calgary, Alberta until the age of 10 where I came to live in the U.S. I'm a very kind-hearted, open-minded person who is always open to meet new people and try new things. Also, I always love to have fun and have a good time. My hobbies that I am always enjoying when I can find the time to include camping, hiking, fishing, longboarding, going to concerts, late-night walks, and drives to relaxing in the day, which I don't know how he's getting any of these things in prison, but you know what? That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. You know,
I enjoy gaming and Netflix marathons. I'd like to find more hobbies that I have never tried, but no, I would enjoy such as going shooting, dirt biking, and rock climbing. Well, can't shoot. You're a felon. I would also like to start exploring more of the world and expand the places I've never been before. I've wanted to travel most of my life, and once I'm released, I plan to begin this adventure with a fresh outlook on life. I'm looking to find someone who I can connect with and begin a meaningful friendship with, someone who would enjoy talking on the phone and provide positive encouragement while I finish my sentence, or would want to write letters or emails on JPal. I'm pretty sure that's jail pal. I thank you in advance for reading my page, and I hope to hear from you. You can write to me at the address provided or my email. All right, so I'm going to send you an image of Michael.
While you said that, I just have a question, dude.
Sure.
How in the world did you come across this? How do you even have something familiar for this to show up at all in your internet browsing?
I get around.
Yikes.
You see that picture of Michael there?
Yeah, he's a looker.
What you thinking there?
He looks like if he was in a movie, he stole that outfit from like a person he beat up and then stole their work outfit so he could like walk amongst the citizens.
Okay, that's honestly not too bad of a.
He looks like. See, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that would be in a movie to like beat someone up and then steal his outfit. He looks like one of those like hackers, like, oh shoot, I'm gonna hack into the mainframe. So, what can this guy do?
Date of birth 1995, release date 2027.
2027. This guy looks creepy. He really does. Like when you were reading his bio, this is not what I expected. Michael, you're a stalker, dude. You're a stalker who took things a little too far and got a little touchy-feely. That's what I'm saying.
So what are you saying is the crime?
He was a stalker who finally got caught, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna assault you. Boom. Give me my money. Did I win?
Michael was arrested for lewd and lavicious conduct
That's not that good.
with a minor under 16.
Oh no, Michael! Oh, great A pedo. Good to
He is
know.
a great A pedo.
I did say he looked creepy. I mean, that's like at least a third of a point.
Now, I'm going to read you this bio before I send you the picture because this might be my favorite picture on the entire website. We're going to talk about Lucas here a little bit. Hello, what should I say? This is tough, spelled Tuff.
Wait, is that his name?
What?
Or is he just saying it's tough?
It's tough.
Is he saying, hey, this is tough? Or is
Yeah.
he saying, oh man, this is tough?
He's saying, oh man, this is tough.
I was kind of hoping his name was tough.
But he spells it Tuff. No, his name is Lucas. I'm charming, talented, artistic. I try to keep busy. I was dumb, and I won't say what he did there. I've been in prison most of my life, and now I've finally caught on what I want to be free and have a real life. I'm tired. I'd like to find someone to write, maybe connect with. Is that you? Now, Michael, born
Me?
born 1994.
Hey.
Incarcerated till 2021.
Oh, he's almost out.
Here's his picture, Matt.
All right, I'm gonna scroll down to the picture right now, and I'm scared. Is he the bear or the kid?
I think he's the kid.
I don't think so. Lucas. So, wait, when was he put in prison? Does it say that, or does it just say his release date?
Let's see if we can't Google search for Lucas Green a little bit.
That's totally a name where only one person will show up. It looks like it looks like if Winnie the Pooh and that bear from Big Bear in the Big Blue House, and then they boned.
Ah, no, that's Lucas County.
Bear. So that's my assessment on.
I can't find anything on him.
And why are all these pictures like they have like a backdrop, like they like hired someone to like take a professional picture? It's kind of weird. It's like all of them, except for the Taylor Swift cover album, and then Michael over here. All right, so I'm gonna. He said he spent most of his life in prison, so I'm assuming he like right when he became an adult, or like maybe something. So, wait, how old is he? He was born in '94, so
yeah, he's a few years older than us.
This is tough, man. I can see the pain on him as a person. And this might have been the picture that made him snap. Like, Mom, Dad, what the frick are you having me do next to this bear? So you know what? I want to say this guy freaking robbed a Build-A-Bear workshop, but no, that's two on the head, you know. So this guy's a bank robber. He's a bank robber. Boom! I win.
He's charged for theft.
Yes! Yes! That's like, wait, what did he steal?
He robbed a house, and he was hooked. He was hooked on drugs while he did it.
Dude, that's half a point.
I'll give you a full point for that.
Boom! This podcast is now worth it, and it's suddenly the greatest podcast ever created. Heck yeah! I feel, dude.
I just sent you a picture of our buddy. I'm gonna say his name is Jorge, but it's spelled Jorge. I'm gonna think that's Jorge and not George.
I'm gonna go Jorge.
All right.
I don't know if that's stereotyping, but we're going with it. It's a very blue shirt.
Jorge is born in 1991.
Wait, do you know who Shoe Nice is?
Yes. Yeah.
That shirt.
That shirt is Shoe Nice's. Yeah. That's
holy frick.
You can probably tell by now that a lot of these interests sound the same. I can assure you, you don't need to look any further. My name is Jorge, but people call me Alex. I am close to home.
Hey, what?
I am close to home, and I feel a clarity of what I want. You have to be an open person to be reading this, and that's a good sign. Like myself, you must want to cut the nonsense out and connect with someone easily. I enjoy laughing and making these people I care about smile. I go out of my way to make people I allow close to feel appreciated. It's been a long ride, but I'm looking for someone who's experienced enough to to know it's best to just be yourself and not what you think the other person will like. That's the most attractive quality to me, being comfortable being you. I can listen to music all day, be surprised by my playlist. This dude's got a banger playlist, apparently. I consider myself a helpless romantic, so I'm all in with rom-coms. I was raised by women, so I respect women. Basically, your heart is safe with me. I feel like we can hit it off and make each other smile. I would enjoy it very much if you reached out. You have yourself a nice day. I hope you're finding what you're looking for. So, born in 1991. His release date, 2020. So
all
he's
right.
out soon. He's out soon.
Just in time to vote for
president.
Whatever candidate you want to vote for.
Convicts vote? Is that a law?
I don't know. I think Bernie Sanders wants to make him vote. I think that was a thing.
No, I think he just wants to release all of them.
That's it. All right. That would mean more votes for him. All right. All right. Jorge or Alex. I would like to introduce myself to Jorge Alex. My name is Matt.
Okay.
But you can call me Alexandra. That joke did not land. I apologize. It didn't land. The execution was bad, and I knew it. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Jorge, he's a level 18 woman respecter, so he's not a rapist. If he's a rapist, I don't know what I'll do, but it's not going to be good. So, Jorge's not a rapist. He's a nice fella. I'm trying to think. What would... Dude, like... He's not a pedophile. First of all, you're not going to go back-to-back pedophiles, because if you did that, that's messed up, and this whole segment needs to be slapped if you do that. That's trickery, and I don't like that if you're doing that. This guy's not a pedophile because he respects women.
He does respect women.
But maybe not little boys.
Oh.
But you're not double dipping on the pedos, all right?
Maybe I am to fool you.
You're not playing those mind games with me. This nice man, Jorge. You're not gonna do. Wait, you didn't do back-to-back pedos. You just did a robber.
Mm-hmm.
But not two pedos. This is how. Whoa! If you say two pedos, it sounds like torpedo. All right. This guy's selling crack.
Selling crack?
Selling crack.
Okay, so selling crack is
but not to women. Not too much.
Not to women. Selling crack is basically the same thing as murder. So,
was it a woman?
I don't know. I tried looking up this guy's information. Believe it or not, Jorge Fernandez in California is a pretty common name. So.
Who the fuck?
So there's that. All right. So our next.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Jorge or Alex, whatever your name is, how are you gonna freaking stand here and say you respect women and on the side be murdering fools?
Didn't you say he seemed like a nice guy?
He did.
Okay.
Like I would be like, hey, what's up? And then I'd probably get murdered because I'm not a woman.
He enjoys making people smile, and he has a fire playlist.
Frick, dude, he better be playing freaking Africa by Toto while he's murdering me. If that's the case.
All right, so Matt, let me ask you something. You know who Flanders is from Simpsons, right?
Yep.
How would you like to meet his real life persona? Which this guy's name is Chris Flanders. Born in 1995.
Now let me just say, hold on, stop there. This guy was going for the backdrop that all these other convicts were going for, but he didn't crop the photo enough. So we still see your wood background, my dude.
He hit you with the I had to do it pose too. So Chris is only 2 years older than us, Matt. His release date is 2023.
Nice.
Hello, my name is Chris Flanders. I'm 24 years old and I top out in 4 years. If you write and want more detail on it, I'll explain then. I'm 5'10" with dark brown hair, hazel eyes, and lots of tattoos. Right now I play video games while waiting to be called out for work. Where are they getting video games at in prison?
I don't know, dude.
I joke, dude. Prison sounds dope. The one guy liked walks and like outdoorsy stuff. The prison sounds dope. I joke around with people and say I kill people for a living. The type of people I'm interested in are fun, outgoing, can joke easily, and don't judge the past. If that
Like
person,
murder?
if you're that person, please write and let's talk. All right, Matt. 1995 gets released in 2023. He's out in 4 years. He kills people for a living, is what he says. He jokes around with.
No, hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
You said the previous guy, Jorge, aka Alex, was a murderer, but he gets out of jail soon. What the heck?
I don't know.
He must have been smooth with the.
I wonder if he was like an accomplice to murder or something.
I don't know. But what's this guy's name?
Chris
Something
Flanders.
Chris Flanders. My man still has his 3D glasses on. Dude, you laughed like the Pillsbury Doughboy right there. Anyways, Chris Flanders. Now, you know what? There's a little part of me that's like, what if this dude like actually is a murderer? And he's like, ha, I'm a murderer. Just kidding. Nah, but for real, I'm a murderer.
Nah, there's a camera, stab.
Oh! Right. But yeah, he's not a murderer, dude. That pose, he can't murder nobody. Are those what kind? Those aren't jean shorts, are they? No.
Those are most definitely. Are they not?
They look a little.
They do look a little like baggy or
fabricy or something.
Yeah.
All right. Christopher. Chris. May I call you Alex? No, okay.
Howdy do, neighbor.
I realize I'm looking at the photo and the camera's right there, but I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to do it because I'm looking at my man Chris. I really wish he didn't have those glasses on so I could see his eyes, you know, because the eyes are the tell.
Eyes are the tell.
Yeah. He's getting out pretty soon, so he's not a murderer. He didn't murder nobody. We haven't had a rapist yet. Just for the sheer fact that we haven't had a rapist yet. Well, obviously we have a rapist named Chris Flanders.
And Chris Flanders. That's your final answer?
The belly slap confirms it.
Statutory sexual assault. You're right.
Oh!
Let's go, man.
I know your games. You ain't nothing.
Way to find a rapist.
Just kidding. I'm a rapist.
All right. We got 2 points here. All right. So our next contestant, Israel. I'm sending you 2 pictures of him because they're very different. They're very different from each other. So there's Israel. A little bit about Israel. He was born in 1986. He gets released in 2032. That's
a dirty floor.
That is a dirty floor. I didn't realize that. That's disgusting.
Jesus, man.
So hi there.
Oh my God! But then the second picture, that's a beautiful painting.
It seems like he does painting. Like he has a few other photos of like artist stuff. It looks like just painting. Hi there, all you lovely ladies. Hopefully all is well with you. Let me start off this most sincere introduction by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Israel. I'm 32 years old. One of the things I like to do the most is writing. So you can be assured that if you write me, I will definitely write you back promptly with a sincere letter. I believe that any and all friendships should begin with honesty. Otherwise, they're bound to fail. So let me tell you, my new soon-to-be friend, that you can ask me whatever you want, and I will answer your questions with pure honesty. The qualities that I have to offer are understanding, tolerance, loyalty, openness, and humor. I'm also sincere, will say what's on my mind, and will respect a person's point of view. Some of the things I enjoy besides writing include reading, studying, listening to music, exercising, and drawing. Despite the odds, I continue to hope of someday getting released and starting a new life, while devoting all of my time to those who stood by me the last 11 years. My hands are extended out to anybody out there, regardless of whatever race, age, religion, view, or values you uphold. My only wish is that you allow me the opportunity to become a trustworthy confidant and a satisfying pen pal. Hope to hear from you soon. So, Israel, born in 1986. 33.
What's his release date?
9/14/1986.
When's his release date?
8/15/2032.
Oh shoot, dude! This is a bad apple. Is that handcuffs on him in the first picture?
Yes, that's most definitely handcuffs.
This was in jail.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even got a little date, 2018.
That looks
so
like
let me just say,
looks like it was
Israel,
taken in.
You clean up good, Israel. Hold up, like
he does clean up good.
Yeah. Like okay.
I think he got a throat tattoo while in prison, but besides that,
no, it's I don't judge.
Who doesn't get a throat tattoo here and there? You know.
I mean, I got an appointment this next week. All right. Oh man, 2033 is what you said.
2032, but so
Sorry. Well, that's assuming he has good behavior, but he looks like a nice
13
guy.
years from now.
I'm gonna assume he's been there a while. Israel. Dude, I'm drawing a blank. Because it looks like two people. Like the first picture, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is capable of anything. And then I look at the next picture, and I'm like, I wanna take him out for coffee or something. I don't even drink coffee, but he's such a nice looking guy. I'll drink some coffee to you. This is a sticky situation.
This is a sticky situation.
Let me just say, this is a guy that he robbed something.
Okay.
Now I'm not saying he's a robber.
But he's definitely robbed something before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Maybe it was a Twix bar. Maybe it was a tattoo appointment. I don't know. But I'm really running low on
material there.
Here. Let's just go with freaking dude. You know what? You robbed a convenience store.
Robbed a convenience store? Okay.
Robbed a convenience store at gunpoint. Boom.
Not only is he incarcerated for murder, he's incarcerated for attempted murder. So
he's batting 1 for 2.
he's a Hall of Famer. Let me tell you a little bit about Israel. A man has been sentenced to 32 years to life in prison for fatally shooting Vallejo. I don't know how to say that.
Was it a convenience store owner?
Who was wearing a rival gang color.
That's pretty interesting.
He was convicted on first-degree murder of 19-year-old Jose Romo, who was killed in 2007 drive-by shooting while walking with a friend who was wearing a red hat. Authorities say neither Romo nor the friend was gang-affiliated.
Oh, no. No, that's mean. No, why am I laughing? I'm sorry.
Rivera, who an associate of the Suarinos gang, was also convicted of an attempted murder. The woman who was driving the car negotiated a 7-year prison term. Rivera initially fled to native Mexico. Mexican authorities extradited him after prosecutors agreed to take the death penalty off the table.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, and then let me tell you about my favorite Pentagon profile.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Oh, shoot.
Here's Eric.
This is going to be a good ending here. Eric. I'm just picturing. I haven't seen the picture yet. Eric. All right, I got it. Oh! Didn't expect it to be that close up. I was kind of expecting Eric Foreman from That 70s Show, but I got that.
Eric was born in 1976.
Okay.
He is currently serving a life sentence. All right. So the bio starts off with my cousin. She is almost like a sister to me. We grew up together, and she babysat me. Posted my profile for me. So these are her words in the third person to describe me.
Nice.
Eric is a very kind soul who is serving a life sentence. I'm not going to say for what. He is the least likely person that I would ever believe. I'm not going to say what. Or, wait, no. Oh, no, that doesn't. He is the least likely person that I would ever believe would hurt anyone. Not even an animal or a spider. Coincidentally, his nickname is Spider. He is 43 years old, but genuinely much younger in spirit than that. I used to believe that Eric, with his long hair, resembled Jesus Christ, and his gentle personality actually made me feel like if he was in real life, current day Jesus Christ walking this earth. Ironically, I don't think for a minute that he is religious. He's very skeptical about life and any god or gods right now, and he views the world more simply. He doesn't want anyone to preach to him or try and tell him about how they witness the Holy Spirit. Please be real to Eric, as he will be as real as they come. He is serving a life sentence, so don't be fooled into believing that you may have a future with him. This is solely for friendship, and if you'd like to visit, I'm sure he wouldn't object. He doesn't appreciate false hopes or imaginary future that will never be. He has tattoos all over his body. He is naturally an artist and very inventive. So, we got a guy whose nickname is Spider.
He wouldn't hurt a spider.
Wouldn't hurt a spider. And he resembles Jesus Christ, apparently. Can you see Jesus Christ in that?
I thought this was Jesus.
Oh. Okay. Glad I'm not the only one.
All right. With prescription glasses, of course.
Uh-huh.
That'd be messed up if Jesus was like, I'm God's son. Jesus, Dad, you couldn't give me a good pair of eyes? These jokes are not landing today. I'm so sorry.
Holy cow, dude, that was rough.
Yeah, that was rough. RUFF, like tough. Callback. That didn't land either. Okay, we're moving on. This guy's giving me a bad smile. His nose is too pointy for my liking. Don't ruffle your hair with your hand, dude. You're not fooling anybody. Get the heck out of here. The tattoos, I'll give you that. All right. I'm trying to see what he's watching on TV in the glare of his glasses.
That's a good call. Let's see. Oh, no, I can't. That's
like,
too pixelated.
It looks like I don't know, man. I'm just going to assume it's like Cops or something. All right. This guy, like, the second I saw him, I'm like, holy cow, stay away from my children, you sick pedophile. And what I'm getting from the bio kind of confirms that. He wouldn't hurt a fly, you know. These pedophiles kind of get because they don't think they're hurting the children. They got a warped mind where they're like, I'm showing these kids a good time.
Keep talking.
You know what?
Keep talking. Go ahead, Matt. Let's see how this works.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
This is my take on pedophiles.
Oh.
They aren't criminals. Okay. They provide meals and dessert and candy for your children. They provide a bed to sleep and bone in. This is bad. He's a pedophile. I'm stopping. He's a pedophile.
Just calling him a pedophile?
Just give me my point, dude.
Now, I will say I am 2 thumbs down on pedophiles. That's my personal take.
I'm a thumbs down and a half. You know, they're growing on me. I'm sorry. Jesus.
Let's talk about what Eric.
Are gonna take these clips of me and make me. Oh god.
Let's talk about what Eric was incarcerated for.
Pedophilia. Molesting a child.
1st-degree murder and aggravated assault. Would you like to hear a little bit about what Eric did?
Did he murder a child at least?
Can't say that he did.
Really? Who gets murdered? If you got murdered by this guy, you deserve to die. Jesus, you could have take this man down.
All right, let's. So
continue. I've offended enough people today.
Margot said Huffman and 42-year-old Blevins, who I believe is his wife or girlfriend, had been together for roughly 5 years and had moved into their Hernando home off East Benjamin Street in late 2013 from Texas. They got into an argument during the late afternoon of April 2nd, 2017, inside their house, and Citrus County Sheriff deputies were called and managed to quell the quarrel. Wow, good alliteration by whoever wrote this.
Freaking that should. I love that.
Margino said deputies responded to the couple's home multiple times since 2014. However, later that evening, Huffman and Blevins got into another argument. Huffman went outside to a storage shed and grabbed a 3-foot-long samurai sword and went back inside the home. He threatened Blevins and their guest Lisa Ward with the sword before striking and stabbing Blevins. Blevins was able to get outside, but Huffman continued to cut her down as she fell over a railing onto the ground, Margino said. Huffman then got into his pickup truck and drove it at Blevins and Ward, who was standing outside but was able to get out of the way. Huffman still ran over Blevins' motionless body before running away to hide behind a home a couple miles off East Gavin Street, where deputies later apprehended him. Wouldn't hurt a fly or a spider, huh?
What did I just hear? What? All right, now that you say samurai sword, I'm kind of.
You can see it, right? Yeah.
I'm kind of getting like a dude that's like, yes, my samurai sword came in today.
Definitely could see it.
It seemed like, he just collects that kind of... No, he was preparing for this. You should have saw it coming, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
That's a story.
That is a story. And that concludes our first ever segment of Pentacon. All
right. Can't wait for future installments. I got 2 right, though.
You did get 2 right.
And my man Tyrone did not murder anyone, so that should count as a 3rd one, because he's not a murderer.
All right, so you wanna get into your segment here, or you wanna hold that off for next week?
I think this was a good way to end it. I think we save it for next episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we're calling that a show, thank you for watching. If you're still watching for some reason or listening, I still got to figure out a way how to put this on Spotify and all those streaming podcast apps. But besides that, thank you for watching once again. Give us a like if you would like, and please share us any way you can.
I don't like pedophiles. Just I want that out in the open. I don't
Strong
like
take.
Okay?
Strong take.
Hot take of the day. I don't actually like pedophiles. It was a joke. It didn't go over well. I'm sorry, but I do not regret. My man Tyrone isn't a murderer. So if you think Tyrone's a murderer, don't hit that like button because I don't want your like. You better hit that dislike button. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. All right. Well. So quickly, I promised to one person that we would give him a shout out at the end.
Oh heck yeah.
So Eli, you're garbage. Trash. Talk about how trash he is, Matt.
He's so trash. I went to the dump and I was like, "Hey, I'm at your house. Are you coming out?" Boom, got him.
Hit him. He quits jobs because of the shoes that they make him wear. My fridge is empty every time he comes over at 3 a.m. for some pizza rolls. He's garbage. That's all I can really say about him. I like Eli. He's a good guy.
He's bad at 2K.
He's garbage at 2K. Garbage.
He plays on rookie, dude. And
he does play on rookie. He's garbage. Probably uses the Warriors too.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. Well, besides that, if you liked our show, follow us.
Did you like it?
Follow us on Twitter at Brown Mamba Show.
You know our Twitter now.
You can also follow us separately on our Twitter accounts below our names here.
Yep.
Besides that, Matt, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, my laptop's pretty low on battery. So
okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, you know what? That was a good joke, and I'm proud of it. Boom, baby.
Horrible joke. That was a horrible joke. All right. Brown Mamba Show, episode 2. Thanks for watching.